dia. Hi, João. How are you?
Bom dia, tudo bem? I'm okay. And you?
I'm well, thank you. Live from New York.
Yes, I'm live. I'm this is a kind of Encontros por acaso on the beach.
Oh,
I'm just spend some days with my mom here on the beach. That should be live.
well, now you're looking forward to the summer, right?
Uh,
I'm now in the turtleneck. It's getting very cold.
that's why. It's a little cloudy, but it's warm. And how are you?
I'm really great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. So I have some friends in here. Some Chris from Lisbon. So he's
Nice.
from Portugal. Paulo Souto from Chile, from Santiago. Andrea Cabeça. Andrea, it's from Bradesco. Tom Costa, this is an artist.
Who?
Just you have very no this
What
very
kind?
cool. Just miss your last word.
Was it? You said an artist, musician?
Yeah. Tony is a painter. He's a great artist. In fact, he's has some paintings in Miami.
That's one skill I thought I would work on during COVID was painting. I didn't get there.
He's very good. In fact, he used to work for Itaú as a computer analyst, and just switched the career to an artist. So
Wow.
Fabio Costa from Miami. Wow, my friend from yoga is here as well. Next, so it's very eclectic today, the public.
Oh, very, really great.
Yeah, Marcelo Esteves from Riachuelo, Johnny, Thiago Fabris from Bossa Nova, Bruno Nicoletti from Australia.
Hello, Bruno.
He's here. You see? Very good. But thank you very much, Jillian, for being with us. A few weeks ago, I talked to Vanessa, from Itaú in New York.
We've been meeting to meet for a virtual coffee.
Yeah, Vanessa is great and great talk as well. And in fact, we talked about this low code stuff, and just your name just come my mind to talk earlier. And so that's very cool. Very good to have you here. I
Thank
know
you.
I know you're in New York, and
Yes.
I know you. How you ended up? Driving. This strategy of low code in Latin America for Pega. You have an extensive career at IBM. I didn't know that. I know you were IBM, but I don't know exactly. How was that? Just tell me a little bit so you go through this low code after that.
Sure. Sometimes I forget that I was with IBM because I've been with Pega for 9.5 years, but I did work
Wow.
at IBM in another software firm called Lombardi that was acquired by IBM years ago. So I've always grown up in high tech and software companies. And most recently, since you and I met with Vanessa, have been working with the Latin American business. So it's been quite a low code. I don't think it's a silver bullet per se. I think if we take a step back before low code, it's really about thinking, what are the companies trying to tackle? What kind of problems, especially in today's world, right? There's uncertainty everywhere. The pandemic's hit, it's impacted things like how customers are being attended to, how the workforce is actually engaging with their customers and their employees. So I think the first question is, what kind of trends and issues are these customers trying to solve? And I think the problem is customers need to meet each other with empathy while also still responding rapidly and be agile. How do you balance those two things? There's a couple different ways to do it. Some customers are trying to solve this, but they do two mistakes, right? The first mistake, which is well-intentioned, they say, oh, let's go ahead and help our customers, but we're going to hard code that logic in the channels, or let's rationalize our systems to prepare. And that doesn't solve the problem, Joao. So I think fundamentally low code helps these businesses respond rapidly and empower their business and IT together to solve customer problems.
Right. I see some say it's cheaper. There's less bugs. There is, it's greater accessibility as well. How do you see that?
Yeah, well, again, existing low-code solutions, there's no silver bullet. The problem is that some low-code solutions cater to business, but they can't scale. They don't fit the development needs of the enterprise. Some low-code solutions cater to IT and developers, but you alienate the business. All of a sudden, there's a proliferation and a siloed approach and some lack governance built in, so all in one place. So I think to achieve what you're mentioning, really have to have a unique approach. So low code needs to bring everyone who touches the applications together with proper tools and guidance. And then that's where you get the significant reduction in time spent on mundane manual coding. You'll get building reusable components that can be templates for the business.
When it comes to low code, the same part is for the developer. In fact, once we start being low code, we start being developer again. We have to understand low code, how to do it, how to process the flow. But when it comes to content and low code, you can, do very, sectional things, right? What is the amazing things you have seen, by using low code up there in terms of the apps?
I think I missed that last point you just mentioned, Joao. Could you repeat that again?
In terms of the apps,
oh, yes.
Content and low code together, they can be very strong.
So let me give you a couple of examples. And the reason why I love Pega for many reasons, but the different way that Pega approaches low code is that uniquely we unify the business IT in one environment. Wow. Who needs low code when you actually have no code, right?
That's right. That's right.
So on this unified environment, now that speed is even faster. So two examples come to mind. One is around a company who was able to digitize a COVID aid process app in less than 5 days. So they were able to launch a small business lending application. They have processed 200,000 applications in the first 2 weeks. They fully manual processes from emails to scan all turned digital, and they enabled a global workforce. So that's one example on building that content around small business lending. But it's not just about speed, right? Low code and enterprises today also have to think of sustaining this time. How do you scale? So another example that comes to mind was actually in the manufacturing, a manufacturing example. They built a 545 plus citizen developer apps, right? And it was all around warranty claims. They were able to process 5 times faster. They were able to have 53 million in savings annually because they manually automated those claims. So those are two different examples of kind of content brought together. And really, again, why have low code when you can have no code and unify all that in one environment?
Yeah, that's right. That's kind of revolution, right? So you have to have a lot of acknowledgement behind to make this happen. You talked about the customer engagement. How this low code could be accelerate that, could be make it cheaper. The faster is the cheaper, I understand, when it talks about customer engagement, right?
But when I think of customer engagement, I actually think of the word empathy, right? At the end of the day, there's a quote that I read the other day around how employees and customers really have a different relationship today with technology, right? They're no longer passive consumers. So they're actually participating and shaping the tech experience. The demand adapts in real time. You need agility to react with that. So before thinking about speed and cost, I really think about empathy and how these organizations can leverage that technology to understand what the customer needs in that moment. Today in the pandemic and the global uncertainty, why would you sell a product to a customer when all they need is some assistance in paying their bill?
That's
right? You have to have empathy.
Yeah, it's the problem, right? You have to solve a problem.
You have to solve a problem, and you have to do it with context, and you've got to do it in real time. That's one of the issues that many of the customers are struggling with. They're getting these promises of omni-channel solutions in real time, and they're not delivering. And what happens? It's a poor customer outcome. So I think if you deliver proper customer outcome, you're going to have repeat customers, and there's your business case.
Corabella is saying no code, way to go. And Chris is asking, how do you see this movement in Europe?
Oh, well, Pega is actually a global company. We've been 36 years in the market globally. And a lot of the customers that I've been working with in Latin America and North America are global in nature. So I think from a European perspective, everybody's facing the same challenge today. The constant across all cultures, all language, all companies is change. And you need that rapid ability to solve this problem. So same things are happening in Europe.
Well, I see you have a friend here from Estonia. He lives in Tallinn, it's Marcelo Kavic. So
Hello, Marcelo.
You know, he has some, Pega has some competitors in there, some local competitors in Estonia as well.
Oh,
Estonia
yeah.
is there. And he was with me talking about Estonia some time ago. And
Yeah.
Estonia is, and what do you think, I mean, what makes Pega different? I mean, how you really, how you should, I mean, could choose Pega to help me in my company? And how could we make this different than other strategy, other solutions?
Sure. So I think fundamentally, opening up about those well-intentioned mistakes that I mentioned, how companies and technologies are thinking that they're solving problems by hard-coding business logic or rationalizing systems. Pega's not like that. Pega's going to help these customers fundamentally a different approach to structuring their business architecture so they can solve those customers from the problem out. We're inherently omni-channel, we're inherently real-time, and we have that unique, unified platform that helps drive low-code and business agility very rapidly. And also something else that I know is very important in today's environment is these concepts of cloud and how do you drive cloud solutions. Pega offers cloud choice. We can enable customers to start developing their business applications on a Pega cloud.
Is this growing? You see this growing? I mean, in terms of the customer demands?
Most definitely. And Pega is inherently a cloud company, and we offer cloud choice so that customers can change their infrastructure when they need. So it's an exciting moment, I think, it's an exciting but also a very important moment in today's world. We can all bound together and really help solve these core customer problems together, and with empathy are important.
Okay, so Bruno is here asking if Pega fits any, I mean, size of business.
Yeah, so if you look at the number of our customers, especially in LATAM, Bruno, when we were first together, I think we had a few logos that we worked with together. We work with all sides of companies. We were working with large enterprise companies, with some of our SMB companies, and across all industries.
Can you open up some brand name, and global names that Pega works with?
Yes, I can. And also, if you go to pega.com, I think it's /customers, there's a full list. So Vodafone, Santander, we're working with large brands, United Health Group, the Sprint, the list goes on.
I see you have been very successful with Santander in Brazil with this helping even in training and to this inclusion education. I mean, education and inclusion. So this is very interesting. Talk a little bit about this partnership in Brazil.
Yeah, you're hitting on something that's near and dear to my heart. When you think of diversity and inclusion, there's a couple different ways to look at it. It's not just for gender, for example. It's also around opening up to different ways of thinking and attacking different types of problems. In LATAM specifically, we wanted to grow the ecosystem. So we partnered with the university program UAP, where it really is a tri-party agreement. You have to have an agreement with customers or business partners. You have to have an agreement from Pega, and you have to have an agreement from a local school. We were very excited to launch in partnership FATEC and Santander and Pega. And we want to open that up to all customers, all prospects, all partners, to really develop that talent pool and also make sure that we're growing a sustainable ecosystem in regions. So we've launched that not only in Brazil, but also in other areas around the globe. It's been great. And I see a large focus on that as inclusive in the marketplace.
So in Latin America, we intend to do that in other countries as well. Has Chile, when you have Paulo watching us?
Yes, most definitely.
Okay, that's great. And I have also here, I mean, Tatiana Scarpioni. She's from the Femtech. It's a group of tech girls that works in this inclusion of human technology.
Yes.
They are great. So they have very great girls there, and they have been working to bring more awareness about technology for girls. I know you're part of the diversity and inclusion fronts inside Pega. Tell us a little bit about your career and how how your career trackled this woman leadership, especially in Latin America.
Yeah, I'm very proud to work for a company that embraces diversity. And also the reality is the biggest obstacle I feel that women face in tech especially is earlier in the pipeline of their career, really getting promoted, achieving parity, getting the opportunity to be successful. So I have a lot of appreciation for the supporters that I've had in my career. And also, I try to turn that interest and commitment into action myself. So as you're mentioning, I participate formally within the company at the Women at Pega. We are great sponsors for local events. Also informally, trying to connect leaders from other companies and like-minded to create a community. I think that's important for culture. And then also I just enrolled over at MIT, which
Wow,
is
great.
the
That's
focus
great.
change the world. And I have been so excited and empowered because now I'm meeting with both men and women executives who realize the importance that they own as individuals to really empower women in the workforce and achieve parity in that way. So again, I'm thankful for the experiences I've had, and I look forward to paying that forward.
You know what? I have Andrea is a friend of mine. She's watching us as well. And we work together at Itaú. She works for Bradesco nowadays. And maybe she has today 500 people in her team like that. And when she worked for me, she had about 300, 400, just growing. And I remember she gave a very interesting testimony. Said that in the beginning of her career, she had to wear like a man, act like a man to be successful. Now she says, I don't need to do that anymore.
So,
I said,
yeah.
no, you don't have to, to be aggressive to yourself, right? How you see that nowadays? You see, we still have those, you have to fight this.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think about that a lot because I think my husband's actually watching, and I think I have some friends watching, and they know my personality. I can be some type A, and I'm always on, and I'm thinking, and sometimes it might be too much or it might be too aggressive. At the end of the day, take a breath, use it as an opportunity to reflect and learn. I'm always open and vulnerable to coaching, but I also have a high standard of the way that I would like to work and present and ambition. So I think that glass ceiling is breaking. I see some opportunities, and the traditional mindset of gender is changing. So that's exciting. And I would love to meet your friends and your contacts and your other women in femtech, because that's a topic I think that's global as well. And stronger together, right? Uniting on all fronts.
You see, Andre is just saying this now. It's everything changed. Now she goes with the baby to the meetings.
Oh yeah. Well, in today's time, the pandemic, I give such kudos to the women and men who have been working as intensely as we're used to working, and traveling and raising families. It's been a tough transition personally to always work from home. I miss being in the field, seeing my team, seeing my customers. But there's also, I think, a lot of moment to look at self and section your time correctly. And what a great opportunity to be closer to family more often.
That's right.
Commend the companies that are encouraging employees to take time. One tip that I've seen has worked fairly well, we're still getting used to it. Instead of blocking 1 hour meetings or half-hour meetings all the time, and it's always full, block 45-minute meetings.
That's right, yeah. That's right.
20-minute meetings. Keep that 5 or 10-minute buffer to take a breather. That's been helpful, and I see it gives time too for those that are homeschooling.
That's right. You know what? What do you think about women in technology? Because it's even in Silicon Valley, it's just have a few women. If you take the percentage, even in Facebook, Google, all those tech companies, the human percentage is is not that great, So, and women is 50% of the world. How does that, my daughter, she's 14, and 2 years ago, she attended a Georgia Tech program in Atlanta. Wow.
Great.
Exactly. It used to call girls, GIRLS, girls interested in rapid learning in STEM.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting because just girls in there, and just to make them, to incentivize them to become technology. I think in fact there's need for to bring more women, to push more women to technology, right?
I like that that's exciting to hear. Even in your own family, you're encouraging your daughter to do those types of classes and expose themselves. I think that's where it starts as well. I think it starts by having models or female leaders to look after. And if you don't see them in the marketplace, connect them so that you can grow leaders that are younger in their career by modeling after visions of what they'd like to be when they grow up. So I think it's about accountability. It's about rewarding success. And it's about connecting the dots for those that are on an ambitious career growth model.
So let's do that. So I'm going to connect you to the Femtech. So girls from the Tatiana. So this is, you just take Jillian to make a speech for you there. They do live as well. Almost every day. It's very, very good.
I need to practice my Portuguese. That'll be good as well. And maybe we can start something as well with my network in the States would be outstanding.
Yeah, yes, there are a lot of small girls group in Brazil, just KA ladies, Femtech, and so there are some that you could connect and could help them, even this with your experience. But come back to our subject, Jillian, what do you think is the role of AI in this when low code comes up?
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, having quick conversations as a business to solve your customer needs is incredibly important. How do you do that? How do you do that in context? You've got to be real time. So if you think of AI or artificial intelligence, it's really about having a brain that's always thinking and that's always on. Something that can predict what your customers are going to come to and act quickly, and also those that are adaptive. So Pega has both predictive and adaptive analytical models that'll drive real-time contextual conversations for clients, and that's just unique.
So okay, so I think artificial intelligence has everything to do with local, right? So to connect, as you said, connect the dots, right? How you use that in Pega? How these solutions they automatically integrate? How you can help customers to just run?
Yeah.
Not exactly knowing what's happening.
Managing that intelligence centrally is the key part. So if you're thinking of the low code and rapid time to market, you've got to make sure that your AI and your business logic operate across all channels. You've got to make sure that it guides your employees while focusing on the policies and regulations at hand. It's got to be centralized, and I'll keep emphasizing real time because I think that's something that people really need to lock in as a differentiator. And then that will help you drive those consistent and real experiences. So layering AI into the central brain of your customer architecture is key to enable those rapid contextual responses that low-code delivers.
And do you see this trend just happening? I mean, which are the segments we see most embracing this movement?
So my whole career, I've had cross-industry experience, but lately I've been focusing primarily on more of the banking, insurance, and telecommunication areas. But if you look at somebody like Commonwealth Bank of Australia, and I know our friend Bruno's out there in Australia.
Yeah, so that's right.
They were able to quickly deploy the empathy offers I mentioned across all channels. That's 18 different channels in the bank. They make 20+ million next best customer conversations a day. So if you think of the power of that, all driven by that analytical brain, that's a really good banking example that I'd like to highlight here.
You see, Pega is much more artificial intelligence company, or is much more a low code company, or much more a CRM company?
Yeah, that's above my pay grade. I know that we'll have a lot of different discussions. I think in general, João, when you get to know Pega, you see we're industry leading in all tech fronts. Forrester and Gartner don't agree.
Yeah, you just told me you're a 36 years old company, right? So you're very mature, right?
Very mature company, industry leading. So the roundabout way to answer your question is, we want to fundamentally change that the world builds business software, fundamentally. Mm-hmm. We help that in customer relationship management. We help that in back office operational processes. We help that in many different facets. But remember, Pega is unified. It's one technology. Gartner and Forrester don't agree on much, but in all these different tech segments, Pega is always a leader. So if you really kind of internalize that we're a unified solution to help drive these business outcomes, that means we can interoperate with existing tech. We can help make sure that investments our organizations have made, we can help come in and be like that glue. Maybe we turn the brain on for existing customer service channels that already have a solution. Maybe we're turning our case management or operational scale for those that need to connect siloed operations. So the opportunities are endless.
And tell me, you told a little bit about the MIT program we're just embracing now. Which are your plans with this MIT? What things gonna come next after this MIT open mind we're gonna have there?
I'd love to help change the world. I'd love to help change the world. So I'm excited to better equip myself with the management cadence, the data-driven decision-making, with the best and the brightest from across the globe, and then help bring that back to make real-world impact.
So, and in MIT, so this program is, so you have people from around the world, right?
That's correct. It's the executive MBA program. So they're fully supportive and fully respect that I'm in a full-time job. So I'll keep working.
That's right.
And the time management is really well thought out. It's one Friday and Saturday a month. Of course, after hours, I'm doing lots of reading. And then in 20 months, I'll have my executive MBA degree.
And how is that? I mean, now you have been work totally in home office. How is that today? I mean, how was your life during the last months, and now how is gonna be your life, work and the MIT program? Maybe that's gonna be easier than maybe it was before, right?
I look back and I feel like I was a different person a couple of even months ago. I would travel. As I mentioned, I love being in front of my team and my customers. I was on the road Monday through Friday. The joke is I got to know my husband a lot more in this past summer than I have ever in our years dating because I've been at home more. So I think time management is very important. I'm excited to fill in the time to study and read and really take some moments to travel up to Cambridge to be on campus. The program is global.
That's right.
We have peers that are from Tokyo, that are from Egypt, London. So quite a representation. It's
interesting because I have these different cultures, and nowadays touch is online, right? So it's easier. But I think
time zones are tough to manage, and also my WhatsApp. I thought that working with Latins, my WhatsApp was already high. Now it's really high.
That's right. And so, but it's maybe in the future we're gonna have to balance that. I mean, the virtual and the physical, and
Well, and also you mentioned a good thing about how to manage studying and working. I find that I'm in front of the screen a lot more, right? You're working in front of the computer. You've got Zoom meetings with your team to feel human. Then all of a sudden you're studying and you're reading. So I love digital reading, but maybe I'll print off a couple of papers just so I can hold the paper and sit outside.
Right. And how is things going in New York now? And I already, going out to, dinner for dining or something like that, or is still at home?
Yeah, I have actually ventured out for one or two dinners with actually some MIT colleagues that live in the area. It's all outside. You have to make sure you keep your mask on. So you have to be safe. It's going to be interesting to see. Now we're in the fall time frame, turning into winter soon. So the temperatures will start dropping. The rumor is a lot of these restaurants will turn to dining outside almost permanently. So I'm not sure how that's going to happen in November and December.
Interesting things now, how everybody says is new normal. I came down to the beach and to meet my mom here, and she's with us, and my daughter brought 4 friends.
Oh, wow.
So to bring them, we have to make COVID tests in all of them.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah. Nobody passed. Just COVID is good. No problem with COVID. But you had to do that to spend those days on the beach. Because of my mom. So it's
which beach are you?
It's in north coast of São Paulo. It's São Sebastião.
Oh, beautiful! I wanted to Fernando de Noronha. I never made it, so maybe.
Just go. That's beautiful. You know what? They just let people that already had the COVID go into there now.
Oh, really?
If you didn't get the COVID, it's not. If you're okay, if you get the COVID and you're okay, we can go.
Okay.
But
Well,
just
I love scuba diving. It's been a sport that I've done since I was 13 years old, and I would look forward to scuba diving there. I did go in
that's
Ahiel de Cabo, and
yeah, Arraial do Cabo.
that
Yes.
was freezing, the coldest
Yeah.
I've done.
But so you're gonna love Fernando Noronha. So just go someday.
For
And
sure.
Jillian, just I mean, by the end of our talk, so what would be the I mean your message to those girls watching us and I'm looking up to a career like yours because you I mean you know girls must have those reference to grow up, and I
Uh,
think you are a good reference. What message should you do give to them that are watching us now?
yes. Well, thank you. I always think it's important to think about a growth mindset. If you're looking to find purpose and live dreams and ambition, it's not going to be a comfortable path. You're going to go through the comfort zone where you feel safe. You're going to step out of that comfort zone and you're going to hit into maybe a fear zone or a learning zone. That's okay. Embrace it. Keep going. It'll get comfortable again. And the options are limitless.
Great, thank you very much. I think there is a message for Jillian: never breaks a sweat.
Very much for having me, Joe. It's always great to talk.
Thank you very much. It was very nice talking to you. I hope you have those new opportunities in the future to talk like this, Jillian. Thank you very much.
Goodbye, everybody. See
Bye,
you.
everybody. Pessoal, obrigado. Valeu. E até daqui a 2 semanas a gente está de volta. Semana que vem a gente está de volta. E deve estar comigo aqui o Valério Balbini Murta. Ele é vice-presidente da Mastercard em Dubai, responsável pelo Oriente Médio e pela África. Vai estar falando conosco aqui de pagamentos. Jillian, I'm waiting for you there next session in the October 14.
I look forward. See you soon. Bye.
Tchau, gente. Obrigado. Fintech, they are bringing some different